tell me if I'm wrong, but it seems like we need to get people back to London, whether it's tourists or whether it's workers. But without that, none of these essential businesses can run. I think it's like 25,000 small businesses have already disappeared, gone bankrupt, maybe they never come back.
Yeah.
Like I said, 13% of the office workers are back in the buildings, but I don't see the leadership like trying to get people back and trying to get culture restarted. I just feel like we get a mixed message, and sometimes I feel like we get different messages sometimes. The science, it doesn't seem to be a science-based approach, and I'm wondering, do you agree or disagree? And what does that feel like as an entrepreneur trying to make decisions to make revenues every day?
Yeah, it's very difficult. Do we have any leadership at all? That's the big question. I mean, it's a very political question. I don't want to get into that too much. It's very easy to sort of sit in your own little bubble of, I've got my shop and I've got my house, I've got my family. The huge big picture of the UK or even just of London, it's a really, really big picture. But yeah, the messages that we're getting, all confused, all different. What do we do? How do we do this? What do we do with it? How do we interpret that? And then even then, different people's different opinions on those messages. So wearing a mask in store, should you wear, should you not? Should we be actually policing that as staff members and saying, no, you can't come into my shop unless you are wearing a mask, when that person could be coming in and spending just £5 of a spend? Is like, fantastic, I'll take the £5, thank you very much. And then the pressures that are on the frontline staff of having to deal with that's really, really hard. So I've been really, really particular of talking to all of my key members of staff, every member of staff, saying, okay, this is how we're going to do things. Are you okay with that? Are you comfortable with that? If there's anything that you're uncomfortable with, let me know and we'll stop it straight away. And we started off being fairly, you could say, strict in the way we run the operation, how many people, and then just gradually, they're used to it. We're letting more people into the store to a safe level still, but it's still about making everybody feel comfortable.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
It is a real challenge for us.
Okay. Now I saw you put some outdoor seating out there, which I'm sure helped your business. Was that difficult to get approval for in the government? Is there a way that they might be able to fast track more outdoor seating for you and other businesses? I mean, are there any quick wins that you see?
The quick win straight away is for Westminster or for the government to overshow it, but really it's the Westminster, because we're in the Westminster Council, is to say, right, we're going to invest and having tables and chairs outside forever. Fantastic. Yeah, happy days, we're done. Because straight away I've got 12 seats outside.
Right.
And if that's in winter and it's freezing and people choose to sit out there, that's their choice. The challenge then is though whether Westminster would then charge us money or charge any operator money for that. Well, you've got extra tables outside, so we're going to charge you a fee for that. How much is that fee? Is it fair? But the story behind that is that Westminster Council said, like, we want to get people back into this area, and happy with that. Let's go and put some tables and chairs outside, mainly in Soho and other areas. And our street, Great Titchfield Street, was not identified as part of that. I sent emails in requesting for us to be identified for that. It was either ignored or missed or whatever. But basically, we didn't have tables and chairs outside. Up until about August the 14th, I think, when I got a bit angry. And I did my own IGTV video. And I walked up and down the street and said, look, car, restaurant, car, restaurant, here we are, what's going on? That had over 5,000 views on it in my 14,000 followers. I wrote to the local councillors, I wrote to the Westminster Movement Strategy team, I got the other businesses in this area all involved, they wrote to them, and within 10 days, we had tables and chairs outside.
So they do listen.
Yeah.
If you threaten.
Why? Because I also got BBC London News involved. Okay. So BBC London News, BBC is just around the corner. What they do is when they need a good shot for a background story, they'll come down here, we'll take some shots of a coffee shop. So I messaged them and said, you come to me for background shots, I'm now coming to you for help. We need your help.
Right.
Because by having these tables and chairs outside, I've got one more staff member working upstairs. By having tables and chairs outside, I've got one more kitchen staff working, coming off of furlough or potentially saving their job just by having that. It's fantastic. So BBC London News, they ring up Westminster. We've got this story about Great Titchfield Street. What are you going to do about it? And very quickly they said, "Oh, we'll put tables and chairs in," as a good news story. So it's been amazing.